Alright, we are live back again with the Get the Tables podcast, episode 4, with my two co-hosts, as always, the Bizarre One, Dave and Justin. How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing good.
Alright, we just got done watching NXT and the CWC Championship, or Classic, I'm not sure what it's called. But yeah, so we're just hopping on right after those two shows. We'll talk about Raw, touch a little bit on Impact. I know Dave watched it, so he can fill us in a little bit on what happened. We're going to do a WWE mock draft where we pick 5 Raw, 5 SmackDown, where we think the guys are going to go. And touch on Brock Lesnar UFC. Touch on, what else are we going to touch on? Oh, the Nakamura Balor match, of course. Yeah. And the CWC, his first episode tonight was also. So, we'll touch on that as well. So let's just hop on. With the WWE mock draft, which will be next Tuesday, will be the actual draft on SmackDown, its first live episode. They're going to do, if I'm not mistaken, a live SmackDown, and during the SmackDown, they're also going to do a draft, show on the network during SmackDown. So I guess you can watch both at the same time, which is pretty neat. It's kind of different. Anything y'all interested in next week about the draft with them doing that draft show? Dave, I know you have a lot of things to talk about with that because you were the one. Me and you were talking about it earlier.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see how they're gonna do this. I mean, is it gonna be like a second screen, like go commercial breaks and then it'll pop on, like they used to? But I don't know. I mean, there was also people talking online, which this is just talk, is nowhere near that. What if SmackDown was just a 2-hour draft show? So, which would be really hard to do for you turn to SmackDown and want to see wrestling. But it's going to be interesting to see that they would run a WWE Network new special show during one of their shows on TV. To me, that would hurt the ratings, but I don't know. I mean, it's really interesting. I mean, that they're going to do this. And then 2 hours. I'm not sure if the post-show is an hour or just a half an hour, but they're going to do a pre- and post-show for the draft. And it's supposed to be an hour pre-show, and they're going to do a mock draft during that. So that'll be really interesting. I mean, it's exciting to think about what they're going to do with this, and who's going to be. Go ahead.
I don't think it's possible for them to do a 2-hour draft without having any wrestling on it. I think that's what the show is that they're going to do during SmackDown. So you could just do what I did tonight. You have to watch on your phone or, watch on another device. I guess that's what, that's why it's on iPads and your phones and all sorts of other devices. So you can do that. You can watch it on TV and you can watch it on something else. I think that's pretty neat. I wonder who they're going to have doing it. I just don't think a 2-hour show was going to work because, if it's just a draft, because usually the picks are only like a minute long, and how many picks are you going to have? In a 2-hour draft, yeah. You would think that's got to be at least 30 to 40 picks.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think they have 30 wrestlers.
Like 20 in a 2-hour. If it was just a draft show, it would be like 20 picks would be the first round or something like that. But I believe there's going to be like, where it's going to be like 10 picks throughout the show.
I just think it's a neat concept. You say SmackDown comes up, does a pick. Okay, let's go to WWE Network. You can hear them analyze the pick, what they think about the pick, so forth and so on. But I think that would be pretty neat. I'm interested to see what they do there. But let's just do this mock draft because we don't want this video to be too long.
On SmackDown. Like, say, let's go to these guys to hear what they think about the pick.
Yeah, see, that'd be cool. I think that would be an interesting...
Or trades, if there's any trades in it, maybe.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Trades, maybe they say, tune in to the network if you want to hear AJ Styles, what he thinks about being drafted to Raw or whatever, drafted to SmackDown, stuff like that. I think that'd be cool. But, all right, let's go where we think we're going to pick 5 wrestlers. Just only 5 because, we can go on forever.
I'll do 6 because it'll be uneven. If you do 5.
It'll be 5-5.
Yeah,
you mean
5 and 5.
Oh, I thought you meant 5 for like one for both things.
No, 5 for Raw, 5 for SmackDown. Where we think 5 guys are going to go to Raw, and where we think 5 guys are going to go to SmackDown.
Gotcha.
Our opinion. All right, we'll go with Dave first. First guy that is going to go to Raw and to SmackDown is...
I think the first guy going to Raw, I think Stephanie's going to go big. I think it's going to be Brock Lesnar. And I think Dean Ambrose is going to SmackDown.
All right.
You want me to do them both now or just one?
No, your first 2 picks, you said Brock and Dean. Okay. Justin?
I'm gonna go almost the opposite of that. I'm gonna say Stephanie picks Dean Ambrose just so she can torture him since she hates him anyway. So I say Dean Ambrose goes first to Raw since he's the champion. Secondly, I'm gonna say AJ Styles to SmackDown.
All right, with the Dean pick, I agree with him on Dean with the Raw. I think Dean's going to be, and Steph's going to be the new Stone Cold and Vince feud. Not to the extreme, of course.
Yeah.
But I think she's going to, the torture stuff like that. And I think we're going to see, though I don't want to see it, I think we're going to see Rollins go to SmackDown. I think Rollins goes to SmackDown. Okay, Dave, your next 2 picks. Second pick for SmackDown will be?
I'm going to say Kevin Owens to Raw, Sami Zayn to SmackDown.
Okay, Justin?
I'm gonna go. I think Cesaro to Raw, and then Miz to SmackDown.
Okay. I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to say Owens to SmackDown and Miz to Raw. I think Raw's going to be title heavy. I think SmackDown's going to get all the new belts. Dave, third pick for Raw and SmackDown will be?
I'm going to say AJ Styles to SmackDown. And I'm going to say Gallows. I don't know if it's 2, but since they're a tag team, unless they break them up, I'm going to say Gallows and Anderson to Raw.
Okay, the club to Raw.
I think they're going to break them up.
All right. Justin?
Oh, I'm gonna say Sami Zayn to Raw, and I'll go Kevin Owens to SmackDown.
Okay. I'm going to say Zayn to Raw and Jericho to SmackDown. Dave?
I'm going to say Reigns stays on Raw or goes to Raw. If hopefully he's picked. I don't know how it's going to work, but still. And Rollins goes to SmackDown.
All right. So nobody's picked Cena yet.
There's a reason.
All right. Justin?
You just took it right out of my mouth. I'm gonna say Rollins to Raw, Cena to SmackDown. Up a little bit.
Here's mine right here. I'm going to say Reigns to SmackDown, and Cena stays on Raw.
I'm going to go Cena Raw, and I don't know how they're going to do the New Day thing, but I want to say the New Day would get drafted. If they draft them as a team, I would say New Day to SmackDown. And if they break them up, who knows how it's going to... I don't think they can break up the champs, but still. I think New Day gets drafted to SmackDown. So I would have the Raw title in the tag titles on SmackDown.
Yeah, the tag titles on SmackDown. Okay, for your Raw pick, the last pick. Cena?
Yeah, I took Cena to Raw.
Oh, that's right. Okay. I'm sorry. Justin, last pick.
You know what? I'm gonna make a bold prediction. I know it's probably not gonna happen, but I'm gonna go with the girls on this one. I'm gonna say Charlotte to Raw and then Bayley to SmackDown.
Ooh. Okay.
Won't happen probably, but hell, you never know.
I think they'll work NXT later with, like, I'm starting to think about this now, that they're going to do free agency signings type thing. That's what it'll probably end up being.
Right.
After the draft, Finn Balor just signed with GM Daniel Bryan, or whoever the GM is.
Or like how we said, I just thought about this, how we said with trades earlier, maybe they can do like a 3-brand trade. Like 2 people go to 1 and they have to call up an NXT person to take their place. You know what I mean?
Oh, that'd be cool.
Some crazy thing like that.
But all right, that's a bold prediction. Bold prediction by Justin for Bailey. Okay. All right. Last 2 for me. Interesting. I'm gonna say Styles goes to SmackDown, and darn. And I think they do the. I think they see the same thing. Brock stays on Raw. That's the most obvious pick. Brock stays on Raw. Mm-hmm. But all right. Well, Massey's picks up. Oh, just in case there's a tiebreaker, which I don't think there will be. Guess who will be the Raw and SmackDown GM? There is rumors, of course, that it's going to be Daniel Bryan to SmackDown. So we just won't pick him. This is the obvious, right? It could be that. So Justin, we'll go with you first. Who do you think is going to be the Raw GM?
You know what? I'm going to go out on a limb and say Paul Heyman, Raw GM.
Dave?
I'm going to say William Regal.
I'm going to say Triple H. People are going to fucking hate it. SmackDown, I'm going to say... This is tough, but I'm going to go with the wild card, what everybody's hoping it'll be. And I'm going to go with Kurt Angle.
That'd be awesome.
Justin?
Cool. Man, that's a good question. Hell. I'm going to say... Probably Vicky Guerrero, I guess. Who knows?
Vicky? Okay. And Dave?
Dixie Carter. No, I'm kidding. I said Dixie Carter, but I'm kidding. Yeah, Eric Bischoff.
Okay.
It's not going to happen, but...
There we go. So, got it there. Okay, so, all right. Let's touch on Raw this past week. We don't have to go through the whole show or nothing. But let's just, Dave, your quick thoughts on it. Did you like it? Anything that stuck out for you?
The thing that obviously stuck out was the New Day go to the compound, the Wyatt compound. That really stuck out.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know your guys' opinions on it really, but I mean, I'm not saying it was bad, but I'm not saying it was good either.
It's different from what they've done. That's. I mean.
They're just taking a lot of heat right now because.
Yeah.
Hardys just did the deletion match a week ago, and so they're taking a lot of flack for that.
Now, I was reading something on Twitter myself saying that, they could have filmed that 3 weeks ago, a month ago. I mean, we don't know when they filmed it, but, I know what you're saying, though. I've seen a lot of people...
Because TNA filmed about 30 days ahead of time, I think. Yeah. So TNA done had that filmed probably 30 days ago. Mm-hmm. I think they heard all the buzz, and not trying to knock on WWE, but that is the wrestling world. You copy everybody.
Oh, yeah, it happens all the time.
It happens all the time. TNA does the WWE all the time. Mm-hmm. But it was, they sent the tapes out to everybody, and they were sending them out to all the top writers, the Hardys, one was, and so it got a lot of buzz around it. So it just seemed like they just threw that together really fast. With the whole Wyatt and New Day thing. How the whole compound thing, it just got thrown together really quick.
Yeah, it did, actually.
And they didn't really need it. They just announced it. Yeah, I agree.
No, go. What were you saying, Dave?
I'm saying I agree with what you're saying. I think they rushed it, too, because they just announced, I think, yesterday or today that it's going to be a 6-man tag, which they didn't even at Battleground. Right. that whole compound thing. I mean, it was not even needed.
I'm just waiting for Harper to come back. That's what I'm waiting for.
Yeah,
I
I thought he was gonna show up actually last. I thought he was, oh not last, Monday night. I thought he was gonna show up on Raw at the compound. I thought he would like come on and maybe like help him or something.
Yeah.
I thought it was different. I didn't think it was as good as the Final Deletion because the Final Deletion thing was just on a different level of its own.
It was.
For people hating on it, I mean, so what? That's the wrestling business. TNA's done it before. WWE's done it before. I'm sure ROH and so forth has done it before. I mean, it happened. You know, they tried to run with the ball. That was, people were, going extremely popular over on Twitter and whatever have you. And it just wasn't the same kind of match. It didn't kind of play off really well on TV.
It had like
not even really interested in the feud, honestly.
Almost like it was too much production to it. Like it was too many lights. You know what I mean?
It was too good. WWE gets criticized for having too good of production because they should have done it with like a single or two camera angle where you're just shooting them fighting, not showing all this other stuff with it.
Yes.
Yeah, I just think they rushed it. I didn't think they really thought too much of it. I saw Bray Wyatt really get heavily defensive on it on Twitter to the fact where I would a Brother Nero, not a Brother Nero, but a Matt Hardy, broken Matt Hardy versus Bray Wyatt. I think that would be pretty cool. But
had it on Twitter and stuff.
Yeah, so it's just I'm just not really interested in the feud. I mean, I'm really more interested and anxious for the draft to see where people land and where the feuds go on from there. You know, I've been reading a lot online that Vince McMahon is not very high on Roman Reigns anymore. That he's really high on AJ Styles. He's really high on AJ Styles and Rollins. So,
the club. We saved the seat for you because I said, Vince, welcome to the club. We saved the seat for you. I mean, everybody's high on that.
Right. So I'm just curious to see what happens on Raw because Raw's going to be huge, but especially that they announced on Raw this past week that it's going to be Rollins versus Ambrose for the title. So, early predictions for you guys. What happens, Dave?
I mean, there's been a lot of rumors and speculation saying that Rollins is going to win the title, which it wouldn't matter, which I doubt it. But, I mean, anything's possible. He could win it, and then Ambrose wins it back at Battleground. Anything's possible. But I'll say Ambrose keeps it.
By pinfall?
Sure, I'll say he beats him clean.
Okay, Justin?
I was just going to say the same thing, but, for sake of being different, I'll say that Rollins, tries to cheat his way through it, but Ambrose still wins anyway.
I think it's going to be like a count-out. Some sort of count-out.
You could do like a count-out if they wanted to.
Double count-out, something's going to happen. Something crazy is going to happen, but we'll see. What else on Raw that was memorable? Zack Ryder. Looks like he's going to be getting a title shot against Rusev.
Yeah.
Darren Young, newly crowned #1 contender for the IC title to face The Miz. I'm guessing maybe at Battleground. Anything else to touch on Raw this past week? I think Raw wasn't the greatest this past week again. I think it'll hopefully start. Oh, well, we can also touch on Raw. Vince McMahon naming Shane and Stephanie to their separate brands. Shane's going to SmackDown, as everybody was pretty much predicting. Well, they're not commissioners. They're not general managers. Excuse me, they're commissioners. So they are going to announce their general managers next week on Raw. Shane earlier, I think yesterday, announced on Twitter that he's come to terms with everybody who's speculating that it's going to be Daniel Bryan, and I'm not sure who is going to be for Stephanie McMahon. Wouldn't surprise me if she names herself, if that's even possible.
Yeah, you do that.
I
Vince
think
McMahon pretty. Sorry, Dave?
Honestly, I just think they need someone who could run day-to-day operations. Like on TV, because Shane and Stephanie and Triple H can't be there every single week. They got other stuff they're working with. Triple H hasn't been on Raw since WrestleMania, on TV since WrestleMania. So I
But I
mean,
think that's the point, though. I think that's more the point of it. I think he's been there. He hasn't been
yeah,
on the TV.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They do more stuff behind the scenes, and then you could have them focus on that stuff, and have Shane and Stephanie pop up here and there without having to be there every single week.
Right. I get your point. I see where you're going. I think I just liked how Vince said that they're going to be pretty much competing against each other to see who has the better show, better ratings are going to play a part. And it's funny because right after that, after they named them to their separate, I put a poll out on Twitter. What show are you mainly more looking forward to? And 90% SmackDown.
Yeah.
So
It's
I think this is going to change the game. I think you may see kind of like a WCW. I'm hoping WCW Raw type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
A few, because I don't think it'll ever happen, but you never know. SmackDown may get a higher rating than Raw.
Now, do we see like a
happen.
pay-per-view like bragging rights come back since they're going to be going against each other?
I think you do Survivor Series about it.
I think maybe that's what. Hopefully, they use Survivor Series because I think pay-per-views like that went away from pay-per-views like Survivor Series and pay-per-views that those type of matches.
Agreed.
So, hopefully this brand split will bring back the big four pay-per-views because right now it's basically the big three.
Yeah.
It's Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, and SummerSlam.
Yeah, Survivor Series hasn't been good in a while.
Has been kind of thrown to the back burner, and hopefully this brand split will bring back some more some more awareness of what Survivor Series used to be. So
Back on a big match, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens there. Anything else to touch on before we move on?
No.
I mean, Dana had a good match, but I think they said they're gonna do. Who was it? What was the match they said they're gonna have? I forgot. Like Natalya and Becky Lynch for Battleground. So yeah, that's gonna be there.
On the pre-show?
No, on the actual pay-per-view.
Huh.
I think that's what they was sent out. So yeah, and I know Sasha Banks and Dana had a decent match on Raw, but I mean, Raw wasn't really. I mean, Raw wasn't great. I mean, other than the two interesting stories I think you wanted to see going in, Vince coming to Raw, so you wanted to see what he's going to say. And I think the whole commissioner thing was really interesting because, and then you got to name GM, so that really kind of threw a curveball to everything.
Okay, right now, what's right now in WWE? What's the best storyline right now?
Stephanie and Shane.
The draft. I mean, the draft is overshadowing Battleground.
Yes.
Okay, so over Ambrose, Rollins, over AJ Styles, Cena, over the New Day, Bray Wyatt, Owens, and Zayn feud.
Oh yeah.
The draft, Stephanie McMahon, the whole situation with that is the top.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Let's Impact. All right. I did not see Impact. You kind of filled me in. Dave kind of filled me in a little bit of what was going on. And a 2-minute review. What exactly happened on Impact that is important that we should know going into next week?
6 sides of steel next week for the X Division and World Title. And Moose is on Impact. Is in TNA.
Yes. He has the same theme song. I think he's going to be another guy that WWE dropped the ball with, even though I know the apparent past he has, and WWE's kind of separating separating themselves with guys that have kind of a bad past.
I think it was kind of balance thing he had an issue with a while back, and then when he's in the NFL. so they didn't want to touch that.
Yeah, so it's kind of silly, but I understand. I get it. So he's made his debut. He's with Mike Bennett, who they're familiar with each other since they're both from ROH. I'm not sure.
Online where it said he signed a 2-year deal for only 110 dates.
Huh.
Oh man, they'll be doing a lot of independent shows.
I mean that's a good deal though.
Yeah, he'll be doing independent shows. Anything else other than that?
A decent ladder match. EC3 and Drew Galloway had a.
What happened? Who won that match?
It wasn't really a match. They were just fighting.
Like a non-sanctioned or whatever.
Yeah, it was just like a fight. I guess they're gonna do a match, but we talked about this offline, Tony. TNA keeps doing these gimmick matches. And
Oh yeah, they're very, very good, just heavy.
Matt and Jeff in a cage like a month ago.
Yeah, so they're just trying to gain viewers. I get the point, but they're gonna go gimmick heavy again. They did this last time, and soon it's just gonna get old, and people are not gonna want to see that shit anymore.
I wouldn't mind seeing because Moose came in and attacked Lashley, and I wouldn't mind seeing that match at all.
Oh yeah, that match will be good. That'd be good. Anything else? Matches for next week, possibly. Other than that title match.
No, I do not. They said they're gonna redo that match from last week, so that's all. It was kind of a boring show, other than the ladder match and the main event, which I think people were looking forward to, but that's about it. And that,
folks, let's get in.
Report.
No, go ahead.
So that, folks, is your TNA report.
Oh, okay. All right. So let's go to NXT.
Yes.
We're taking on Balor. All right. So we're gonna get different opinions. I'll tell you that tonight. All right. We'll start with I know a guy that enjoyed the match and someone who didn't really care for the match. How about that? We'll go with Dave first.
I enjoyed this match. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. It wasn't the commercial breaks. I think really hurt the match because it takes you out of the moment that you're in the match. So I think that's what hurt the match. They were only like 30-second commercials, but they really hurt the feel and the flow of the match. It was a good match. It was probably one of the best matches they've seen on NXT TV that they've done. But Zayn versus Nakamura is still by far the best match I've seen all year.
No, Justin.
Okay, so I'm in the minority. I know I am. To me, this match could have been a whole lot more this should have been an actual special, an NXT special match. For them saying it was a dream match and all this and that. We've seen them do all those moves in their other matches they've had. There was nothing special to me in it. You know what I mean? And I don't like Nakamura. Something about him, I can't stand him. I don't know what it is. I just do not like him.
See, I was thinking about this watching that match, like, Nakamura to me has like a presence like The Undertaker did when he would come to the ring. He has like a presence about him. And I wasn't sure about Nakamura either, but I just, the entrance and just the way he wrestles is just so like, I don't know, he has like ominous presence about him. And do you think it hurt Finn Balor? Like, as from your perspective, him coming out as Finn Balor and not the Demon?
Not at all. And I'm not knocking the match. I mean, it was a good, but I mean, for them to say, dream match and, this is, whatever they were talking about, it just wasn't that kind of match to me. It was just normal.
Yeah, but I also think, I enjoyed the match too, but it would have made the match meant more. And I want to get your opinion on this too, Tony, but if you would have came out as the Demon, falling out there like that.
I think the Demon's only really used on specials or when he was defending the title, but I understand. Yeah, I get what you mean by that. But the commercials kind of killed it for me a little bit, like you said. I thought the match was good. I like Nakamura, but I could see what you mean by not really caring for him. I get you on that.
I mean,
the match wasn't bad
or anything. I don't know.
Right, yeah, I feel you. And that match, no match right now can compare it. That I've seen, other than maybe the Ospreay and the Ricochet match that I haven't watched, but I heard it was good. was Nakamura and Zayn was the best match I have seen probably ever. Maybe. In the last at least 5 years. So nothing's touching that. I enjoyed the match. I should have, like Justin said, I think it should have been on a special. Maybe not on the Brooklyn one, but maybe they should have had like a small special. Maybe have Asuka defend her title, have him defend this, Joe defend his title against some random guy, who knows, and then maybe Rude or something, and then maybe have this match on there. I think the commercials kind of killed it for me. Other than that, I enjoyed the match. I enjoy the commentary. I like the commentary. I like Gray and Phillips. They're my favorite commentary, other than Murillo and fucking Daniel Bryan. They were good tonight as well. But NXT, I thought was good, but I understand Justin's point on that. I get you.
Yeah, I mean,
the CW
a lot of time too. They got over 30 minutes, like in the ring. Just maybe 25, maybe more 25, but they got a lot.
When I saw they were going on at 7:30, I was like, holy shit. Well, I'm sorry. 7:30 my time. It's like, holy shit, they're gonna go 30 minutes. But then I remember, there's gonna be
commercial. But yeah,
let's move on to. Oh, go ahead, Justin. I'm sorry. Go, Justin. Go ahead.
No, I would have preferred to see more stuff we haven't seen between them two yet, since it was them two fighting. But I mean,
do you think it was too slow? You think it was too slow?
No, I mean it was fast, but I just wanted to see stuff we haven't seen from them before. That kind of, if it was that big of a fight, you know what I mean? I've seen all that stuff they've done in other matches, so.
I think they could do a rematch even if they wanted to. I think they could set them up for a rematch, even if it's at Brooklyn. Or before Brooklyn, and then have Brooklyn be the last match.
I think that was Balor's last match in NXT.
Yeah? Okay. Well, then there you go.
I really think last match. And I can understand why Justin would say that, because you don't know when they'll face each other again. Mm-hmm. So you want to see them go all out. You want to see some crazy stuff. I understand what Justin's meaning by that. But hopefully they will face each other again someday down the line. And
Nakamura would be an awesome match. I would really love to see that.
Nakamura versus anybody and Balor versus anybody is something I'm excited for. Samoa Joe, and the list goes on and on. But anyways, CWC. Justin, did you watch this by any chance? I don't know, because I know Xbox was still down.
This is going to make me sound stupid. I preferred the first match of the CWC to Balor Nakamura.
Okay, all right. There you go. There you go.
I mean,
the first match was good. The third match was good. The fourth match was good.
I don't think the first match was better than Nakamura Balor, but
it's all about people's opinions and different styles. If some people may think that. You never know. And especially like Justin said, he doesn't really care for Nakamura, so he may not. His opinions are going to be totally different from ours.
Yep.
With his matches, but fair point. Y'all's thoughts on Ibushi? I know it was you two guys' first time seeing him in the ring.
He's incredible.
I've seen him wrestle before.
Okay.
He's actually wrestled Nakamura in New Japan.
Mm-hmm. That's what they said.
Yes.
I mean, I thought the other matches on the show were good too. But yeah, Ibushi looked great. Mm-hmm. And Daniel Bryan, I guess a lot of people, I'm the biggest, like you guys, one of the biggest Daniel Bryan fans anyway. But I really enjoyed him and Morello, what was his name, Ronala, the commentary. I mean, Daniel Bryan just sit there talking about all these guys, and it was just like we were watching WWE.
They made the matches that much better. Them too.
Yes. I mean, and Daniel Bryan being in the ring with a lot of these guys in the tournament really helps sell his credibility to being an analyst for these matches. And talking about, I love the first part of that match when Ibushi kicked the other guy, another family member of The Rock, kicks him, and he's like, "Oh, I know how that feels."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I can't remember his name, the guy he faced, but he almost fucking died.
Yeah, he
nearly
did. God dang.
He jumped way too.
he got so damn lucky that he caught himself. Not even caught himself, but he caught like the tip of the ring
I know
apron to be able to
And
his
then
balance
Ibushi helped
forward.
him too. So
Yeah.
Right,
Then
yeah.
he almost hit the apron as he flipped over it. After he flipped over the rope, he almost hit the freaking side, or what is it called, the apron part right there. But
Right. So I'm looking.
that was awesome, like Ibushi did in that match.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to those matches to come.
We could talk about some of the other guys if you wanted to, but I don't know if you wanted to or not.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say some of the other matches they had were actually like that first one you were talking about, and Davari, if you remember Davari, his little brother,
yeah.
I think it was in the tournament, against some guy who looked like he was just going to get squashed, but
And he won.
I mean, he did. Yeah, and that's the your underdog story right there.
Yeah.
But another match, the match with Alexander, I thought was really good. And the guy who was wrestling, I can't remember his name, but that guy was really good.
Yeah, the other guy was trained by Lance Storm.
Yeah. I mean, he was really good in the ring, too. That clothesline was sick, too.
Yeah.
But Alexander next week, or I don't know next week, but the next round, will take on Ibushi, and that will be...
That's going to be nice.
Yeah, that's going to be really good.
Yeah, that would be a good one. So, I guess we can all agree that CWC right now is a pass. So, let's move on. Let's move on to a lot of things while we're wrapping up this show tonight. Brock Lesnar defeated Mark Hunt over the weekend in the UFC match. Ended in a decision, correct? Gosh, I can't even talk. Lesnar pretty much dominated. It was more on the ground type shit. UFC 200 itself, my opinion. Now, I'm not much of a UFC guy, so don't take mine to take mine with a grain of salt. It wasn't that great.
It was not great. On card it looked okay, but it was not good. I mean, it was good, but not good.
Right. I think that John Jones kind of killed him being hurt.
Yes, he did.
Yes.
Credit Anderson Silva for going out there and doing what he could do.
On 2 days' notice, mind you.
2 days notice. Give him.
Yeah, but DC all he did is throw the dude down and hold him. That's all he did, and that's why a lot of people were booing him because all he did is hold him down the whole time.
Yeah.
Right. But it is what it is. Brock wins, so he's gonna go on to face Randy Orton of all people. Like we predicted pretty much last week that he'll be facing Randy Orton at SummerSlam. I'm pretty sure Brock Lesnar's not going to lose that match now that he won his fight. I'm pretty sure by next year we may see Brock with the WWE Heavyweight Champ and UFC title. Would not surprise me at all. They pretty much announced a sponsorship, not a sponsorship, but like a
partnership.
Partnership, there you go, with each other, WWE and UFC, that is. You're going to see a lot of promoting each other's brand. I mean, on UFC, you saw the video game. They promoted SummerSlam. They promoted the fight, the wrestle match between Randy Orton and Brock. A lot of promoting. You're going to see it on UFC. I mean, WWE even, broadcasted the weigh-in. So there's going to be a lot of... You may see some UFC fighters on Raw, not on Raw, but in WWE. Not soon, but next year, probably around WrestleMania time.
On UFC, should we talk about the sale for $4 billion? How crazy that is?
Oh yeah, right. Yes. Wow.
Knows either he's friends with or he's part of the company, or he knows the people in the company because he tweeted out some congrats to his boys or whatever.
I mean, he bought it back in like 2001 for $2 million, and he sold it for $4 billion. That's a hell of a return on investment there.
He's still gonna stay working there. He might even still have like a 1% ownership. So
yeah, he's gonna have he should be there still, I'm sure. But
that's
just crazy.
Yeah, good for him. Proud. I mean, they started from the bottom. Now they're at the top. I mean, gotta give Dana White credit.
Anything else before we end the show that we need to touch on? I know this is not much of a sports show, but the recent retiring of Tim Duncan to the San Antonio Spurs hits home to me and Justin since we are big Spurs fans. I know Dave has some tough times against Tim Duncan.
Yes,
No offense. But just a quick, your favorite memory of Tim Duncan before we wrap it up on Get the Tables podcast episode 4. We'll go with Dave first.
It's not really a moment, but
I know you're not a big Spurs fan or not, but what was your favorite thing about Tim Duncan, if you have one?
yeah, I mean, I just remember the Twin Towers, him and David Robinson, and just being like this great force. That Spurs team was always known as a great coach team and just a great team in general. And the whole the classic Spurs and Pistons matchup they had over the years. I mean, probably some of my favorite finals, but I'm biased. But also the matchup between Rasheed Wallace and Tim Duncan was always so much fun to watch. So I never hated the Spurs, but I always respected and enjoyed watching the Spurs because they played team basketball.
Justin?
Well, honestly, this could be a video all by itself. We could talk you at least can talk for hours about it. But, I mean, my favorite Tim Duncan moment, and I'm not going to lie, I got emotional and teared up a little bit when he announced it. But my favorite moment of his is when he hit that 3 against Phoenix in the playoffs, in 2008. I mean, without that 3, we would have probably lost the series because we were down a game, and he won that game for us, and then we ended up winning the series. But that, and then him choosing to stay in San Antonio over going to Orlando in 2001 or 2002, whenever that was. I mean,
Right, yeah.
Good point. There's also that crazy final or that playoff matchup with the Lakers where Tim Duncan hit this crazy shot and then Derek Fisher went down.
Yeah.
I mean, that was one of those. I think the Lakers won that game, but that was just one crazy game.
On a bullcrap .4 shot.
Yeah, I know.
Fisher.
But that was the moment that you just remember watching the play at that moment where Tim Duncan hit this crazy shot and then Derek Fisher hits an unbelievable shot. But yeah, I remember that. It just popped in my head.
Jack hit the same shot first, and then Duncan hit it, and then freaking Derek Fisher catches and wins.
I don't remember so much Tim Duncan. I remember Big Shot Bob for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, a lot of great memories. He'll be missed. Appreciate the loyalty, Tim, and it's going to be very weird not seeing you on the court with the Spurs next year. So
we will get that game when that 21 raises up into the rafters.
Yes, so thank you for everything. But anything else, guys, before we wrap up the show that y'all want to touch on? Any news? I know, didn't you say, Dave, that Paul Heyman offered Ospreay a contract?
Yeah, that's what was online. They said over in London, he offered him an Evolve contract. He's going to Evolve. And we all know that's part of WWE's breeding ground right now. I mean, and I also just seen online, too, this is not a spoiler, but Ibushi, who we just saw tonight, was seen tonight because it was taped. This whole Cruiser Classic was taped. Ibushi debuted in NXT tonight, which will air August 3rd against Murphy. So take that how you want it. Either I don't know if he signed an actual WWE contract or NXT developmental, whatever you want to call it, but we know he's in the tournament.
Rude officially debuted too.
Is he actually there now, or is he just? Are you saying on TV?
Poor James Storms, man. Poor James Storm.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, he chose the wrong thing.
As soon as he goes back, everyone leaves. Eric Young, Bahadur, they all just left.
And just imagine, he could have done something with Bobby Roode, possibly.
Your money in freaking NXT. And look at Joe. Eric Young and Bobby Roode haven't really debuted yet, but Joe and Aries have been killing it lately. I mean, they're doing some great stuff over there. And Samoa Joe is the world champion. In the beginning, I know you guys missed the beginning of the show of NXT tonight, but you had Joe out there talking, calling himself the Emperor, and then Rhino comes out. And so, like, they're setting up a match for next week with those two. So, I mean, more guys from TNA who are just coming into NXT and just on a lot bigger stage.
Right. So, yeah, that'll be it for tonight. Okay, so next week they are doing a post-show and post-show after SmackDown is over. So I think what we're gonna do is just for next week, we're gonna keep the same format as we're going at 9 o'clock, 10 Eastern, after the NXT is over and after the CWC episode is done with. We will be on live. But then starting next week, starting the following week after that, we will go back to Tuesdays. If everybody's schedule is free after SmackDowns, we will do the Get to Tables podcast from now on. If schedules don't match up, I would assume we will be doing them on Wednesdays, either Tuesdays or Wednesdays. So just hit that subscribe button. Or follow on Periscope. Hit us up on Twitter. Dave really does a very nice job of promoting us on there, so we appreciate it. So just hit us up on there, and we appreciate everybody watching and everybody that all the 12 viewers that came in on Periscope today. So we appreciate that. Anything else, guys? See you guys next week for the draft. Got the mock draft down here on the notebook. So Wednesday, 10 Eastern. Join us. It's going to be a huge show. We're going to talk about talk about the draft, talk about the title match, talk about NXT, talk about CWC, touch on Impact. I'm sure there'll be huge wrestling news by then. Mm-hmm. And we'll be our predictions for Battleground, what we think may happen at Battleground that coming Sunday. So
I know Impact won't be on Tuesday; it'll be on Thursday next week.
Oh, that's right. So we will not touch on Impact. Sorry, guys. Maybe we'll touch on it the following week. So, yeah, that's it. Thanks, guys, for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.